What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I am Ken, here today for another recommendation video. This is 10 Blu-rays and 4Ks that I feel like you need to have in your collection from 1980. So yeah, we're gonna dive into this specific year of 1980. I love diving into years and just kind of seeing what made them tick as far as their movies and filmography. Just what was the landscape of cinema like in this specific year. I love doing that kind of stuff. So expect more of these types of videos, maybe a new series on the channel starting with 1980. I may go all the way through to like the 2020s. I'm not as confident to go back any further than 1980 that I'm gonna have 10 movies in the collection that I can recommend to you guys. I'm working on. I've got some serious film gaps I know that I need to work on, but the movies that I am going to cover here today, a lot of these are some of the more popular picks for sure. I do have some other ones that I'm going to highlight, but they are ones that I haven't seen, but I do have them in the collection. But these 10 movies I have seen, and I can say that you need to check these out and you need to have them in your collection. So again, some popular picks in here, but some of them are under the radar as well. I'm also going to let you know where you can purchase these and how much they are on Amazon and just some of the different editions that are available for these movies on Blu-ray. But before I get into it, guys, I want to ask that if you are not yet a subscriber to the Mid-Level Media channel, this is your first time discovering me here on YouTube, and you love physical media, if you love Blu-rays, you love 4Ks, you love that kind of stuff, hit the subscribe button. You will not be disappointed. I do videos like this, recommendation videos. I do reviews. I do Blu-ray out and about videos. I do physical media reports every single Monday, just updating you on all the latest happenings in the world of physical media. So if you like physical media, if you are interested in keeping this stuff alive, movies in the physical form, then definitely hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to like this video and comment down below of any of these ones that I discuss. What are some of your favorites? Let me know in that comment section below. And also, guys, another big reason I make these kind of videos is to get suggestions and recommendations from you guys. So if you've got some movies from 1980 that you feel like I need to check out right away, that I need to own in my collection, then definitely comment those down below as well. So let's get right into it, guys. I feel like I've been blabbing long enough. Let's start with the first recommendation, and that is Alligator. So this is a 4K released by Shout Factory Screen Factory earlier this year. I think this came out in February. This is one of the best looking 4Ks of the year, hands down. But as for the movie itself, it was promoted as Jaws with an alligator, and it absolutely lived up to the hype there. But yeah, this was just far better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot cheesier. I thought it was just going to be a lot more straightforward as far as just a cheesy ripoff of Jaws, just an alligator. But this movie actually had some depth to it. I really love the performance by Robert Forster, and the creature effects in this are absolutely phenomenal, out of this world. It's amazing what they did with these creature effects. And again, it looks stunning in 4K. When he busts out of that sewer, just kind of comes up in the road and just knocks out the sidewalk, like on all those kids are staring at him, he's just crawling out. It looked amazing. It looked incredible. And then some of the sequences at the end where he's like attacking everybody, some of those sequences are awesome. It's just incredible the way they filmed it. So I would recommend Alligator to anybody. It's not just the cheesy, schlocky, like B-level creature feature. It's actually a really good movie. And again, I would recommend this for everybody. Get the Screen Factory release. It is $29.46. It's got an interview with Bryan Cranston in it at Breaking Bad because he worked on the film, one of the first films he ever worked on. It is one of the best special features that Screen Factory's ever done. It's one of the best physical media special features that I have ever seen, hands down, to be honest. So definitely pick up Alligator. It's a great creature feature from 1980. So let's get into the next one. And you guys know what this one is. Again, I told you I'm going to have some popular movies in here, but I got The Shining. And I love this slipcover right here with that axe in the red background, the Here's Johnny. This was like a Warner Icons exclusive. I think these were at Walmart. I believe they were at Target as well, but I don't know if the Shining one ever made it to Target. So I'll take this one out of the slipcase, but you got that regular, you know, poster from The Shining. But what can you say about The Shining? It is probably, oh God, top 2 movies of 1980. Again, I've got another one that's my favorite movie of all time. That's the thing about 1980. It's got 2 of my top 10 movies of all time in it. So yeah, this one and another one that we'll discuss later. So I can't say it's the best movie of 1980. It's definitely the best horror movie of 1980. But Jack Nicholson, the performance is fantastic. He's so good, so iconic as Jack Torrance. It's a scary movie. It has such incredible atmosphere. The score is fantastic. The cinematography, the direction by Stanley Kubrick is just some of the best of all time. and it's one of my favorite horror movies. I love this movie. Every single time I watch this movie, I think to myself, is it really that good? Am I overhyping this movie in my mind? And I get through watching it, I was like, damn, that's a stunning movie. Such a masterpiece. I love The Shining. Of course, if you have a 4K player, go buy the 4K. It's totally worth it, but I'm trying to keep it a little bit cheap here and keep it to Blu-rays mostly. So this is $9.99 on Amazon right now for the Blu-ray. You're not going to get the slipcover. You're just going to get a standard, just the standard case, but you got to have The Shining in your collection. It's one of the greatest horror movies of all time. It's my second favorite horror movie of all time. So absolutely love The Shining. And now let's talk about some comedy with the Blues Brothers. This is really fun. I just watched this for the first time when the 4K came out. I actually watched Blues Brothers 2000 in the theater when it came out, but I never watched this one. So I watched it for the first time, really enjoyed it. It didn't live up to the hype completely, but I thought it was really fun performances by John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd for sure. Directed by John Landis, who was just on fire during this time period. Directed horror films, comedies, just on fire as a director. American Werewolf would come out the very next year. So yeah, the Blues Brothers, again, this isn't a Blu-ray, but this is the 4K, and you can get this one right now for $19.29. So not bad at all for a new 4K release. And it looked really good. It looked really awesome on 4K. So highly recommend picking up the Blues Brothers. This is the one DVD that I have that I thought I had the Blu-ray for, but we got to talk about The Fog. John Carpenter movie, came out in 1980. Extremely atmospheric, extremely scary. Doesn't hold up completely to me in terms of like story and character, but the atmosphere in this movie is just second to none. These are super creepy. This movie used to scare the bejesus out of me when I was a kid. I cannot believe I don't have this in Blu-ray. I thought I did. But I do have it on DVD, and you can get a Scream Factory exclusive edition of The Fog for $19.99. I think one of the reasons why I'm holding off is I feel like because it's a Carpenter film, Scream Factory is almost guaranteed to do this one in 4K sooner rather than later. They're going back through right now. They're redoing all their movies in 4K, so I expect The Fog to come out pretty soon, and I know it has a 4K from Studio Canal, but I'm going to hold off. I'm going to hold on to this DVD. If I want to watch The Fog, I can still watch The Fog. I just can't watch it in the high definition. But if you want to get it on Blu-ray right now, guys, highly recommend this John Carpenter movie. This is $19.99 on Amazon for that. But honestly, I would wait because I really feel like Scream Factory is going to do that 4K release this year. Could be wrong, but let's talk about this more under the radar pick. This is The Final Countdown. This is from Blue Underground. Release this one. So again, not a Blu-ray release, but a 4K. But I believe that they have a Blu-ray release of this for $25. This is $35 on Amazon. But this is a really fun little like science fiction war film. It's about a aircraft carrier that goes back in time through a portal. They're like in 1980 and they're just kind of patrolling in the Pacific. And they get sent back through this portal back to 1941 when Pearl Harbor happens. And they have to make the choice, do we sit out here or, knowing what we know, go and try to help everybody in the middle of Pearl Harbor? So it's a really interesting movie because it kind of goes into that not messing with the past because you're going to alter the future kind of thing. But yeah, it's got Martin Sheen in it. It's got Kirk Douglas, an older Kirk Douglas in this film. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. And this is one of the best 4K. I don't know what the Blu-ray looks like. I can't speak to that. One of the best 4K transfers of last year, hands down, is The Final Countdown. And you can get the 4K of this right now, guys, on Amazon for $35.99. You can also get the Blu-ray, like I said, for $24.99 as well. Now, I will say there is an MVD sale going on right now. Hopefully, it'll still be going on as the time I put up this video. I think it ends on April the 18th. But I'm pretty sure you can get this one for $25 on that MVD sale. So I linked that in my most recent physical media report, so go check that one out. So Final Countdown, highly recommend picking that one up. Let's get into this drama from 1980. And this is the movie that's pretty controversial. A lot of people think should have won Best Picture that year. It is directed by Martin Scorsese, so that should tell you something. This is Raging Bull, starring Robert De Niro. This is what I like to call the anti-Rocky. It's just a really rough and down and dirty boxing movie, and Robert De Niro is not a Rocky heroic type character in this movie. He's completely the opposite. This is a stunning character study of a man struggling with psychological issues and just kind of how he's violent both in and out of the ring. And it's just a stunning film. Great performance by Robert De Niro. Ordinary People is the movie which just got a Paramount Presents that won Best Picture that year. And I haven't seen that movie, so I can't really speak to it. But again, a lot of people were upset. Apparently, Raging Bull should have won Best Picture that year. So yeah, Raging Bull is on Blu-ray. And just as a Blu-ray, this one needs a 4K desperately. But you can get this for $14.99 on Amazon. And I highly recommend adding Raging Bull to the collection. Definitely one of Martin Scorsese's best films. The next one I'm going to talk about is a really under-the-radar hidden gem that not a lot of people really know about. I'm just kidding. It's Empire Strikes Back. It's Empire Strikes Back. Look, it's a Star Wars movie. I have the Star Wars collection. I don't even have it like standalone. But God, Empire Strikes Back is my favorite movie of all time. And I know it's a really popular movie, and I know everybody probably has Empire Strikes Back in like their top 10 of all time. But this movie is so much more than just a Star Wars movie and one of the greatest films of all time. It's just a very important movie to me. I grew up on this film. Like, I think I saw it for the first time when I was 10. There's just so much in this movie, just with the themes, just Luke Skywalker's journey in this film, the journey from Hoth to Dagobah to confronting his father at the end and not knowing that it's his father, finding out that it's his father for the first time. It's an iconic moment. Everybody knows it. And yeah, it's one of the best of all time for a reason. It is the best Star Wars film. There is no film in the Star Wars franchise, and there's tons of Star Wars films that I love. There's tons that I don't as well. But it's the best for a reason. It's the one that everybody cites as the best Star Wars film for a reason. It is because it is just the most deep and dense story-wise, character-wise of the entire franchise. I love this film. It gives me chills just thinking about it. That scene on Dagobah with Yoda lifting the X-Wing out of there and just this is why you fail. And just the themes in this movie are incredible. Still stick with me to this day. So Empire Strikes Back is just one of the best movies of all time, and it just so happened to come out in 1980, the year that we're talking about. So yeah, that's my favorite movie ever made, guys, ever made. So let's talk about some horror. We got another horror movie under here, but I want to talk about Friday the 13th. This slasher movie came out in 1980, and really, I would say Halloween, you can point to that and saying that it kind of elevated the slasher. Didn't really start it because, again, you go back to Black Christmas, Bay of Blood. A lot of people say those started the slasher. But Halloween really kind of elevated it, and this really brought it back down, but also made it super popular in a way that Halloween just couldn't. After these movies were made, everybody was trying to be the next great camp slasher. Everybody was trying to be like Friday the 13th. So just one of the best slasher movies of all time. I love Friday the 13th. It's not my favorite of the franchise, but it definitely established a tone in horror that would carry us through all of the 80s. And again, we're going to talk about plenty of slashers as we go through this list, but this is the one that started it all. And that reveal at the end with Mrs. Voorhees is just still iconic and fantastic. Betsy Palmer's portrayal as Mrs. Voorhees is fantastic. She's so creepy, just genuinely creepy and unsettling. I love Friday the 13th. It's just one of the greatest horror movies of all time for a reason. So yeah, I have this Scream Factory box set edition, and I also have this steelbook, this Paramount steelbook, which is awesome. Look at the back of it. Killer, mommy. Killer. It's so great. It's so iconic. But yeah, you can get that steelbook for $14.99, which is a great price for a steelbook. And these steelbooks are awesome. They're getting ready to come out with part 3. They have part 2 to order as well. So let's move into my next pick and my 9th pick in this recommendation video, and that is Motel Hell. So this is a really fun horror movie that I watched during Halloween time last year, I think last October, but I really enjoyed this movie. It's kind of weird and off-putting. It's a little bit of Texas Chainsaw in there, but also it's kind of comedic as well. So I would compare it more or less to Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Kind of has that same familiar tone, but really enjoyed Motel Hell. It's a really cool little slasher horror movie from 1980 that not a lot of people talk about. And this steelbook from Scream Factory is absolutely fantastic. So you can get this one for $25.49 on Amazon right now. You can still buy this one. You can also just get that Scream Factory Collector's Edition for $14.99 on Amazon also. So Motel Hell, I highly recommend. Now let's talk about the next one. And surely, guys, surely I can't be serious with this pick. Of course I'm talking about Airplane. How can I not talk about Airplane from 1980? It's just one of the funniest spoof comedies of all time. I just talked about Top Secret when I was talking about 1984 films. And I threw a little bit of shade at this because I think the Top Secret is just so underrated. But this really is like the one that everybody talks about for a reason. It's so incredibly funny. It holds up completely, entirely. I watched it a couple years ago when this Paramount Presents release came out. Absolutely loved it. It's just such a great movie. It's so endlessly quotable and funny and hilarious. Airplane is awesome. You can get this Paramount Presents release right now, guys, for $22.99. I love these Paramount Presents releases. They open up right here. There's a little bit of poster. It's a cool little packaging setup that they have right here. And yeah, you know, it's a clear case. So Airplane's awesome. I think you need to have it in your collection. So let's get into a few other 1980 movies that I have in the collection, but I haven't watched yet. Really cool additions. I got Flash Gordon on 4K from Arrow Video. I've heard wild things about this movie. I've heard some people say it's great, some people saying it's awful, some people saying it's terribly great and awful at the same time. I don't know what to think, but I need to watch Flash Gordon at some point for sure. We also got Maniac on 4K from Blue Underground. Again, that Blue Underground sale is going on right now. I think you can get this for 25 bucks. But I was lucky enough to get this one with a slipcover last year. But Maniac is one that I still need to check out on 4K. I also got a Dario Argento film, Inferno. A lot of people say that this is just as scary as Suspiria and most of his other films. Some people say it's his best film. So I don't know what I'm waiting for. I need to watch this one. It's one of my big Argento films that I'm missing. So Inferno came out in 1980. We also got The Elephant Man from David Lynch. This is an awesome Criterion edition that I definitely need to watch sooner rather than later. So there you have it, guys. That is my 10 Blu-rays and 4Ks and one DVD that I feel like you need to have in your collection, your Blu-ray collection. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, leave me some recommendations down below. I know I didn't cover the most obscure titles, but these are titles that definitely mean something to me. They're in my collection. I think they should be in yours. So appreciate you guys watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Turn on those bell notifications. Follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are in the description, and we'll see you next time.